All right, I think we'll start. Welcome to this webinar tonight for Spooky2. This is Spooky2 generators. We're going to be talking about the XM generator and the Generator X Pro. So we'll talk more about them, but here is XM generator and here's Generator X Pro. Now, some of the pictures might just have Generator X on it because the Generator X Pro is the updated version of the Generator X. So in case you get confused about that. All right, so I'll give you a little introduction. My name is Heidi Gilman. I've been a Spooky2 user for about 3 years. I would say more so in the last couple of years. And I have a healing practice. I've had this healing practice for about 22 years. So I've been an explorer of healing in different forms and energies for quite some time. This includes Shiatsu. It's a type of body work that's based on meridian therapy, and lymphatic drainage, craniosacral work, hypnotherapy, energy healing, intuitive work with clients, and energy healing with the intuitive work. More so, I'm kind of moving out from not so much body work and moving more just energy work and intuitive work. And now integrating the Spooky2 into my healing work as well. So my own personal health issues brought me to do healing work many years ago, probably 27 years ago or something. I had a pretty bad health crisis that brought me down pretty bad. And so the way I got out of it after not being able to get help was to start investigating things on my own. And luckily, first of all, I had some healing practitioners that I was referred to that helped me out and helped me get going. Without that, I think that it would not have been very good because I was kind of at a dead end. And so that inspired me to start looking into healing practice, healing work. And I had many healing people that I worked with that I'm very grateful for and that helped me out so much. And so that just encouraged me to do my own and decide I was going to heal my own body. So I spent many years researching and studying all types of healing work, and I continue to do that. That's just kind of my passion, and so that's pretty much what I do. I was brought into Spooky2 about 3 years ago, just doing a search for Rife again, and I had done that a few other times and just hadn't really landed on anything that felt like it was right for me. And one thing was the cost. I mean, I was looking at units that were very expensive, and I just thought someday I would get one, but not right now. And then I came upon the Spooky2, and you know, that was a possibility. And as I looked at it more, I think if you spend time looking at their site and listening to some of their videos, and you can tell that they are a very caring company and they have very good integrity, and they're truly trying to help people. So that really drew me in, and I started collecting my Spooky2 equipment. So it's helped me very much incredibly. And I have a chronic condition, pancreatic condition, and it's really given me a lot of healing that where I was kind of at a standstill once again. It was just another level of healing that was quite deep. And now I just have found it so useful for myself, for my family, for my pets, and trying to integrate using it with my clients more. So I'm providing this webinar to help others learn how to use Spooky2 products and for their own healing, and also to see the value of Rife and the value of Spooky2 Rife. Because if you don't experience something and you don't use something and have an outcome from it, it's hard for you to set a value on it. And it's hard for you to see how it's valuable to own equipment like that. I just think that in this world we live in, like, we really need to do our own healing. It's a very toxic world, and we are our own bodies, and we need to take care of ourselves. And so the Rife has been an incredible thing for me to take care of myself, my family, and my pets. And I think for anybody, it just is a product that you can use on your own for your own healing. And learning more about how frequency work is healing might help you to see how it can be such a helpful thing to have of your own and be able to use it on your own. So I put my contact information down there in case there's questions that don't get answered. I will try to answer them. If I don't know, I will try to find out. So in this webinar, we're going to be talking about the Spooky2 XM generator and the Generator X Pro. Those are the two different styles of generators that the Spooky2 offers, and some different purchase options, how to connect the generators, how to set up multiple generators, how to run a program, loading programs on Generator X Pro, and the main software tabs and functions. One suggestion I have for you, if you're buying a Spooky2 generator, if you're just a new user, I'm assuming most are just new users or thinking they might be, I would download the guide, the full guide, print it out if you can, if you have availability, put it in a 3-ring binder. I did that, and the first time I looked through it, was like a lot of it was very foreign and seemed like way over my head. But then as I use it, then I can go back and it makes a lot more sense to me. So, and then you can just make reference to that as well. Okay, so just to go over the basic development of the Spooky2 generators, was the first versions of the Spooky2 Rife system was released in 2013. It was developed by an international team of electronic engineers, technical designers, software developers, and Rife practitioners. The intention is to have an affordable, highly advanced, and versatile Rife machine. Many improvements have been made along the way. The Rife machine uses a generator, either the XM generator or a Generator X Pro, electrical power, and a computer. So this is really quite amazing, I think. I think about this quite often as like how amazing it is that they developed this and put this together, that you can like download this software and just use these little generators and produce Rife frequencies instead of like a big machine that you have to tune it all and everything. Transmission is through connected pads, like TENS pads, and devices. It can be some handheld rods. It can be some like gloves and socks that have the wiring in it that you can use. Radio wave via a plasma tube, or non-local space quantum entanglement through a DNA sample. That would be your remote part, which I think is one of the most popular ways to use the Rife. I have them going all the time. One thing to think about that is people think, how can that be? But you are you, and a part of you is a part of you no matter where it is. So the fingernail sample that you use in the remote has the DNA and the keratin, and it is yours no matter if it's right next to you or if it's 1,000 miles away. It's still your DNA. And so as you influence that nail with this frequency pulse, it is also influencing you. That's just the way quantum entanglement works in the world. And if you do more research on that, you will just think about examples in your life where you've had this experience and you didn't even realize it. So Spooky2 programs are run off the computer software, especially designed for the Spooky2 hardware. The Spooky2 company is integrity is top class. That's my opinion. And these are their mission, visions, and values. Their mission is we will eliminate all illnesses and needless suffering. Their vision, we aim to empower people to take control of their own health and live long, healthy, fulfilling lives with happiness and joy. And that's something that I have a vision of as well. We value love, compassion, and honesty over profit. And they are very economical products that they produce. Okay, so I'm gonna go through the PowerPoint, and then I will try to answer the questions when I get through the PowerPoint in case anything gets answered along the way. So the differences between the Spooky2 Generator X Pro and the Spooky2 XM generator. Over here, we have the XM generator, the blue one. There's a frequency range of 0 to 25 megahertz. It is a one generator with 2 outputs. It uses a DC 5-volt power supply. It's compatible with contact, so you can put the TENS pads on it and use it on your body, or the other conductive things I talked about. It is compatible with remote, so you can run remote with the fingernail clipping in it. It is compatible with PEMF, which they offer as part of their kits. Cold laser, which comes with a wrist cold laser that you put it on your wrist, and then we'll come up on that later, or twin lasers, smaller ones. And it is compatible with the Spooky Central. I do not own the Central yet, so I'm not going to speak of the Central. That's my goal for 2023, but there are other webinars that talk about Central, and but this is compatible to be used with that, because you do need a generator with the Central. It performs biofeedback via pulse connection. So it is going to be picking up your pulse when it's doing the biofeedback. You need to lie perfectly still, and it's picking up your pulse. And then when there's a change in your heart rate, it's going to, as it's passing the frequencies through, it's going to consider that as like a hit. So just one thing to know when you're considering what you're going to buy is these if you're really interested in biofeedback, these biofeedback scans take longer than the Generator X Pro, and you do have to be able to lie still for like an hour. Now, it does work, and it works really well, but that is just something for you to know when you're making a purchase. It must be connected to the computer to run, and it's the less cost generator. These are very, very affordable. I've been collecting them over the last 3 years. I have 10 of them now, and they're always in use on my remote, for my remotes. Okay, then the Generator X Pro. This has a frequency range from 0 to 40 megahertz. It contains 2 generators with 4 outputs. So you actually have 2 generators in the Generator X Pro. So you could run, if you're running remote, you could run like a detox on one, and then a healing or killing program on another one at the same time. It uses a DC 12-volt power supply. Different power supply than this one. So if you are owning both of them and you got them all connected in your little area together, make sure that you have the right power supplies connected. It is compatible with the contact, again, remote, PEMF, cold laser, Spooky Central, and sample digitizer. There's a picture of that to come. So the sample digitizer is another way to do a biofeedback scan using a urine, blood, saliva, some type of a liquid sample. I believe you can also use fingernail dust, and you put it between 2 slides and can do a biofeedback scan without being connected to a body. I have used this for my pets quite a bit, and it works really well. So if you have animals that you want to treat, it's a good thing to add when you're buying your product. Whoops. Sorry, we got to go back here a minute. My mouse has been kind of disappearing. I mean, my pointer. So sorry about that. I tried to figure it out yesterday and I couldn't figure it out. Okay, this one performs the biofeedback scan via phase and current angle, which is a faster scan. And phase and current angle. The other one is through pulse. Phase and current angle it measures how the electrical signals behave, and a change is recorded as a hit. So it's how the signals behave going through your body. This can be used in standalone when loaded with programs. So you can use this in standalone, which would mean you have it connected to your computer, you load some programs on there. It has, you can load 30 different programs on there, and then you can disconnect it from your computer, and then you can run that in either remote or contact. I would think that would be useful for if you were going to like load some programs on there and let a family member use it, like you're loading some programs on there for them, and then you let a family member use it. They would not have to have it connected up to their computer. They could just try running those frequencies. Another example would maybe be if you have someone that's I don't know, in a bed or somewhere else that it's not convenient to be by the computer. I honestly don't use it very much because I have a treatment area that's comfortable, and so I just like to do my treatments there, but very handy to have. Now I'm going to go over some purchase options for the Spooky2 generators. So purchase options for Spooky2 generators. I'm just going to go through some of the basic kits so that you just kind of get an idea of if you would like to purchase something, what might be the right thing for you to start with or to add on to. So this is the XM generator remote kit. And this kit comes with a Spooky2 XM generator. It comes with a power supply and USB cable. It comes with a Spooky2 boost, which is right here. And it comes with the Spooky2 remote. This kit can help you get started if you're on a tight budget, or you just want to try it and you don't want to invest a lot of money right away. Or it can be an add-on to your existing remote setup. $166. There's a Christmas special on right now for $156. And the remote kit is for running off a fingernail clipping, running a remote. So you could run the terrain detox remote with this, or you could load up a program list and load with this. Like I said, this is also a good add-on. This is what I do, is I buy a couple of these when they go on sale sometimes. Okay, Spooky2 XM Generator Portable Starters Kit. This comes with quite a few things. This comes with a Spooky2 generator, a power supply and USB cable, the Spooky2 boost and remote like we talked about before. And then it comes with the cold laser twin. Let's see, right here. Now the cold laser twin has two small laser heads that fit very nicely either in your ears or in your nostrils, or you can use them on acupuncture points. And you can run like a blood cleanser or allergy or cold or something like that right through the laser. Very effective. And then the wrist laser, that can be used for, once again, it goes on your wrist so that the laser lights are right where your blood flow is there. And that can be used for a blood cleanser, or you can put it on an area of joint like carpal tunnel or on your knee or something like this and run some programs for like trauma or bruises or arthritis or something like that. All right, let's see, where was I on here? It also comes with the steel hand cylinder set. Those are up here. That would be a way of contact where you would hold those. Now you'd have to hold on to both of them in order to get your electrical frequency stimulation. It comes with a pulse ear clip and a finger clip. When you do the biofeedback scan with the XM generator, you're going with pulse, and so you can put the little clip on your ear, or you can put it on your finger, and then it picks up your pulse. And just a word of caution, like for me, I have a really low heart rate, and I could not get mine to pick up by the finger. I had to use the ear, and because I have not like small blood vessels, not good circulation in my fingers and stuff. So that's just a word of knowledge in case you get like, oh, it's not picking it up, because what happens is if it's not picking up, the scan just kind of goes on and on. But for most normal people, it would work fine. But just know that you have the ear clip or the finger clip option. And then it comes with the TENS cables. And the TENS cables are going to be connecting to either your TENS pads or, your other contact devices. And then it comes with 2 sets of TENS pads. You get 20 pieces of TENS pads and a user manual. This is a good starter for biofeedback, contact, remote, and accessories with twin and laser. Okay, here's an XM Generator Portable Essentials Kit. This kit got 2, I think this is what I started with, 2 Spooky2 XM generators. So they're, like I was talking before, you could have one running the detox and one running contact or a contact treatment or a remote treatment. Now, when you run the detox, the terrain or the other detoxes, you need to pause the other generators at the time that you're doing that. Then you can turn it back on again. Comes with the power supply and USB cable. It comes with 2 Spooky2 boosts and 2 Spooky2 remotes. It comes with a Spooky2 cold twin laser and the cold laser wrist. like we talked about before. It comes with the stainless steel hand cylinders, the ear clip, the finger clip, like we talked about before, the TENS cables, and the pads, again, 20-piece of pads. It comes with a portable case to protect the products for travel. That is $516.69, Christmas special $486. So you can see the Christmas specials are pretty great. This kit can allow you to run 2 remote programs at the same time. You can run a killing pathogen program on one remote and a detox program to clear out the toxins on the other remote. So this is also a really good way to start, especially if you plan on doing remote work. This kit can also perform the biofeedback use and use the cold laser feature. Okay, we talked about that. Okay, Spooky2 Portable Generator X Pro Remote. Now, the Generator X is really like the ultimate, and highly suggested if you can. Now, it is more expensive, so and it's just fine to start with something else and then move up to that at some point if you want to, but it's just so easy to use. So this kit is for remote work, so it contains the Spooky2 Generator X Pro, contains a power supply and USB cable. It contains 2 Spooky2 boosts and 2 Spooky2 remotes and a portable travel case. So this is a way of doing just remote work. And you can, okay, another option is to add the sample digitizer to your Generator X Pro remote kit. This could run a biofeedback scan then using a DNA sample, urine, blood, or saliva. So that's another option for you as well. This unit allows you to run 2 remote programs at one time, such as pathogen killing program and a detox program. And this also can be an add-on to an XM kit for running faster biofeedback scans. So if you had a XM kit, that's actually what I did. I had an XM kit, and then I added this for running a faster biofeedback scan. So it's $800, Christmas special $753. Once again, I know that seems like a lot of money. It's really not when you compare what Rife kits cost and everything, but when you think about the way I think about it, when you think about like how much it costs to treat an illness, let's say you just are going to urgent care and you have to have an x-ray, well, that's not saying, some blood work or something like this, you know, and then you get a prescription or something like that. Like you're looking at a lot of money right there, enough to pay for that. And you might be able to avoid that if you're able to do some more healing of your own at home. So that's what I'm talking about as far as value. One way to think about it. I think, did I talk about this or did I talk about that? I think I talked about that. So this is the Generator Pro Essentials kit. So this is kind of like the ultimate kit that gives you everything with the Gen X Pro. It's got the power supply, the USB cable, the Spooky2 Gen X Pro, 2 Spooky2 boosts, 2 Spooky2 remote, 1 Spooky2 TENS cable hookup, 2 Spooky2 TENS pad kits, 1 pair Spooky2 stainless steel hand cylinders. Those are for the contact. 1 Spooky2 cold laser twin, 1 Spooky2 cold laser wrist, 1 PEMF coil. Now the PEMF coil, once again, it uses PEMF energy, pulse electromagnetic frequency energy, and you can use a program and then deliver it to your body with PEMF. Like let's say muscle healing, and then you deliver it to your body through the PEMF coil. Similar as you would with a laser. It's just a different type of healing energy. And see, 1 PEMF coil for Spooky2 XM generator or Generator X Pro with suitable adapter. Has a suitable adapter. 1 Spooky2 sample digitizer. So this comes with a sample digitizer as well. 1 Spooky2 sample digitizer replacement slides. It has 5 pairs of slides in it. So the slides can be reused. And what I do is I have, like when I'm using them on pets, I have 1 slide for my dog, and then I have another slide I use for my goats, and then I just put them in a, you know, after I clean them with alcohol, I put them in a plastic bag and label it so that, you know, or 1 slide for myself set, and so you're using the same slides for, and mine have lasted. I haven't I have not thrown any away yet. They've been doing really well yet. So I think if you take good care of them, they last quite some time. Okay, and this comes with a portable case and a velvet bag to protect your generator. They're always packaged up very nicely. Nice case. They're very sturdy. And this is $998.38, Christmas special, $936. So this is my like best recommendation. If you really want to go for the gusto, if you're being a little bit like, I just want to try it out and see how it works, I would suggest with the XM to at least get one that has some functions with it. Okay, how to connect a generator. I'm gonna play a little video for you here. These are the simple instructions. You want to have your computer loaded with the Spooky2 software. Here's the website to go to. That's in your manual. Download the Spooky2 starter pack. Connect power to the generator. Connect the USB from generator to computer. Turn the generator on. Launch Spooky2 software. Attach the accessories to be used. And then it just says cold laser can connect directly to out 1. The other accessories will be connected to the Spooky2 boost. So that's just something to remember. But I'm going to play this for you, and this is just a few minutes that I'll show you how to do all that. And hopefully, I think this is recorded. This is recorded, so you will be able to review this if you want to. So you can just watch this for a moment. Okay, so now we're going to demonstrate how to connect a generator or multiple generators. I have an XM generator here, and I have a Generator X Pro. So the first thing you want to do is connect power to the generators. So you will notice that the power supplies are different for the XM and the Generator X. And you want to make sure that you use the correct one. The Generator X does have right on here that it's for Generator X. So just make sure that you're using the correct power source. And the connection for the power is right on the back of the XM generator here. So I'm connecting that in. I'm using a power strip here, multiple power strip. And then I'm going to connect in power for my Generator X Pro. And that connection is on the side, right here. Put that in. All right, and then we're going to connect the USBs from the generators to the multi-strip. I highly suggest you purchase a multi-strip. It's from the Spooky2 company on their website if you're going to be running several remotes or several generators. That way you're only plugging into your computer with one, and you've got 10 possible USBs that you can plug in there. So we'll be plugging this in the back as well, just like next to the power. And that's going to go into here. And then on the Generator X Pro, it's going to be on the side. Plug it into here. If you get a lot of these plugged in, it's kind of helpful to take something to kind of get your cords tightened up and hooked together so it's not so messy. But we'll just leave it like that for now. So now we have the generators plugged into computer through here and through the power source. And the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to turn on the generators. So the generator power button is on the top of the Generator X. And for the XM, it's on the back where you plugged in. And the lights will come on. They're going to turn on. And you want to make sure that you do that. You let it click on. before you load the software, so that, or launch the software. You want to have your software already loaded on the computer before you launch it, so that it can pick up the generators. So that's what I'm going to do next, is I'm going to launch the software. And that's just going to take a couple minutes. While that's launching, I'm going to show you about how to attach some of the different devices. So this is the laser attachment, and this is the wrist laser. This is the twin lasers. It comes with an attachment that goes onto here that will connect to your generator. I'm going to connect this one up to the XM generator, and that's going to go directly into out 1. So there's the out 1, and that's going to connect right on here. Now, if I was connecting it to my X Pro, I could connect it to either out 1 here or out 1 here, because this is really like 2 generators in one. And then we're going to connect the Spooky Boost on, because the other devices get hooked into the boost. So the boost is just going to slide right on there, and you just twist the little metal connectors. You slide it on. And this generator, we're going to hook a boost on. The boost is going to go into the BN connection. If you look right there, it says BN, and that's where the boost is going to get connected. We're just connecting it the same way with the twist action. And then we're going to connect TENS pads on. Or if you're connecting your PEMF device, they are both going to go into the high power. And the high power port is this one right here. And it does say high power right underneath there. This one is the colloidal silver. If you feel like it's too strong of a feeling, if you're doing TENS pad connections, you could switch it over to the colloidal silver. But we'll just connect it on to high power. And you can try that first. All right, so now those are just some different devices that you can hook up. There are also the other connectors, such as the gloves, the socks, and things that you can use as a contact, but we're just using the TENS pad right now for a demonstration. Now the software is loaded, and I'm just going to show you how they show up here. So you're going to go up to Control tab. This is where you can find your generator, and you're going to see that there are 3 little squares here. Those are your generators that have showed up here. And we've got generator 9, 5, and 8. And if you look on your generator X Pro screen, it says G1. So generator 1 down here is port 8, and G2, so generator 2 is port 9. And then this one obviously is the 5 over there. Now you'll be able to click on that particular one, and then you're going to be able to pick out what you want to put on there. There's already something on there right now, but when you decide to do what you're going to do with that. So I'm going to leave it like that for right now, but later on we'll talk about the different generators and how you're going to go to each generator and load what you'd like to load on there. But that is how you connect a generator or multiple generators. And once again, I just recommend if you're ordering something and you think that you're going to have more than one generator going, to get the multiple USB strip. There's also a multiple power, 4-quad power that you can plug 4 into, and if you're going to be starting to do multiple like remote treatments, I would suggest that you get that as well, and we'll talk about that later. Okay, hopefully that's helpful. I was just thinking about when I said, you know, put it on the high power, and then if it's too much for you, put it on the colloidal silver. So most of the time, most people use high power, and a lot of times you don't even feel it, but there's certain areas of my body where it is really zingy, and so I have to use colloidal silver. So just know that it might be different in different areas. Like a way to run it throughout your whole body is right wrist, the top of the right wrist and the side of the left ankle, and that's in the book that's suggested for a whole body. And it does not bother me there. But when I put it on, let's say my lower abdomen, it's too strong. And so just know that it might be different when you use different parts of your body, that you might have to adjust if you have it on high power or colloidal silver. Okay, I think that's all I'm going to say on that. And then we'll move on here. Before I talk about this, I was going to mention in the beginning, and I'm just gonna do that real quickly now. So I just wanted to read a little paragraph here about how Rife machine works. So Nikola Tesla said, "If you wish to understand the universe, then think of energy, frequency, and vibration. Everything has a vibrating frequency, which is called a resonant frequency." And as we remember, I remember back from when I was a kid seeing this, the opera singer uses their voice to shatter a crystal glass. The glass is vibrating to the frequency. When the opera singer hits that frequency, it shatters. So if you think about that, each organism has its own unique frequency. And when you add more to it, it cannot tolerate it and it busts or it dies. So that is what happens when you have the right frequency and it hits a bacteria, it just kind of implodes. And Rife can generate resonant waves that can destroy harmful bacteria without doing any harm to the rest of the area around it, which is just really, I think that is just like fascinating. There is a golden rule of Rifing. Any living thing that lives in you or on you that uses your energy and gives no benefit in exchange is a parasite. Insects, a fungus, a bacteria, virus, something like that. Okay, parasites and bacteria have then their own bacteria and funguses. Bacterias, funguses, parasites. And when you kill parasites, you are leaving other ones behind. Like it's kind of like you're killing some and then you're leaving some behind. And those can be entered into your bloodstream. So you want to work from the smallest to the largest. That's kind of the rule of life, Rifing, work from the smallest to the largest. And that is in the programs that are set up like the terrain, that's already figured out. So you don't need to worry about it. But I just think that that's just like super interesting information about frequencies and how that works. Okay, hold on, here we go again. How to set up multiple generators. Okay, so this is just a picture, just for your reference. This is how I have my multiple generators set up. I have a laptop that is an older laptop. It still works good. It was like my very first laptop I had for my business, so it's been around for a long time. And I just use this to run my remotes. I don't really use it for much of anything else. So it just sits up here and it runs these remotes. And then I have, these guys situated down here. So you will want to use the 10 port. I talked about the USB hub and the 5-volt power supply, quad power supply. Spooky2 quad 5-volt power supply is capable of supplying power to move this to 4 XM generators. The high-end specifications provide stable power under the harshest conditions. And then the Spooky2 10-port USB 3.0 hub can connect up to 10 devices at once, which just makes things so much more easier and organized and easier to connect it all up to your computer. You can connect and use up to 200 generators on one laptop computer if the memory serves. And I just suggest you might want to tie wrap and organize cords. It just makes it easier to not have just like all that mess. I guess the mess bothers me, but it shouldn't, but it's just more organized. And if you're going to move a generator or something, it's much easier to find out where that cord is if it's organized a little better. And then you'll want to connect the power and the USB for each generator. So you just connect in the power, you connect the USB for each generator. The USBs, if you have several, are going to go into your 10-port USB. If using for remote, and you'll want to have some power strips. If using for remote, connect the Spooky2 boost to the out 1 and out 2 of each generator. That's how they're connected here. And then you connect the remote to the BN port of each generator, just like I showed you on the video to connect those. Then you will turn on each of the generators and you make sure all the connections are secure. I would make sure all the connections are secure, and then turn on the generators. Make a little beep noise when they turn on the XM generators. Now, you're already going to have your Spooky2 software loaded on the computer, but now you will launch the software and you want to have them all turned on, because then the Spooky2 software, as it's launching, it's searching for the generators, and then it'll find the generators. So if you don't have them turned on, it's going to come up with like generator error, we didn't find generators. So just know that. Then you just close it out and you turn them on and you start over again. Now, you get the generators, you'll get the generators turned on, you get it loaded. Now you can go to your control tab, which is right up here, the top of the screen, and you can click on that. And now you're going to see all your generators. I'm trying to figure out if this is the right ones from that computer. I think it is, because I have another setup upstairs with a few of them on there. So if there's not one showing up, if it just didn't detect one, you can go up to the top of the screen right here. It says Utils. And you click on Utils and you'll get a few little things that you can do, and you hit rescan devices. Now it's going to look for the devices again. That will usually solve the problem. If there is still one not showing, then you'll want to reconnect or recheck all your connections, close the software, restart the generators, shut them off, turn them on, and then relaunch the software. And that will usually take care of the problem. Okay, now we're going identifying your generators to load the programs. All right, the generator X will show the number of the generator on the Generator X Pro display. And I kind of showed that in the video. The XM generators, you can identify the XM generators in these ways. You can attach your Spooky2 boost, which I guess this is how I do it, because I always have the boost attached and the remotes attached to my XM generators, but I'll show you a couple of ways here. So you have them attached to your generators. You go to presets. So presets is this first tab right here. Go to presets. Go to, let me see, I want to get back on my thing here. Go to presets. Click on miscellaneous. So there's a list of things when in presets, and you're going to click on miscellaneous. Then once you click on miscellaneous, you're going to get this list right here that comes down. So then you're going to click on generator signal test. Okay. And then you'll go to control tab. So you click on that, then you're going to go back to your control tab. You're going to click this overwrite generator button right here. That means that it's going to overwrite whatever is on that generator right now, and it's going to put the signal test on it. And then you click on, let's say, this generator. So now you click on that. Okay. So then both the LED lights on the remote should start flashing when that happens. So it's just an easy way to be like, do a signal test. This also lets you know the signal is being received by the generator. So it's kind of a check, like the signal is getting received by the generator, and this is a generator. And then what I do is, because I'll show you how it shows on the screen, but I'm getting older and my vision isn't as great. So I like to have a little piece of tape on my generators and just have the number of each generator on there so I can easily see it. Okay. So you can put a small piece of tape on the generator with a number that is shown on the generator you selected if you care to. Now the generators are represented as small squares on the screen. So these are all representing different generators. So this is going to be generator 30, 31, 32. If you shut down your system, you may need to redo the process when you restart, as the generators may display different numbers. Okay, here's another way of identifying the generators in Utils. So this is also very easy. So you go to that top bar again, and you go to the Utils, click on that, and then you click on Identify Generators. All the generators will display the generator number on their screen now. So see how, oh, I got to move this out of the way here. Hold on so I can see. So here's how I have 30 on here on my little piece of tape, and then right here it says 30. Okay, here's another way. Go to Systems tab, click Display Port Number. So the Systems tab is way down here. Click Display Port Number right here. Close the software. And then when Spooky2 is restarted, the generator will be displayed on the generator screen whenever it is stopped. So the same way as I showed you before, where it's displayed. So those are just some ways to identify your generators. Not a big deal if you just have one or two running. It's easy to find, but if you have several of them, it's nice to have them figured out. How to run a program on the generator. You're going to want to make sure you turn the generators on before launching the software. This will allow the generators to be detected. So you have the software loaded, but before launching it, you want to turn the generators on. Choose what you like to select for treatment for. It is suggested to run a terrain or other detox first. This will help to cleanse your body and prepare it for healing, and then you can address specific topics. So Spooky2 highly suggests that you run the terrain or other detox first. Highly suggested for terrain because it's so thorough. If the terrain is too much for you, and I'll go on to that later, then you can do a different detox. This helps to cleanse your body and prepare it for healing. This is like one of my favorite things with this whole Spooky2 is this terrain, the detox, because it is such a thorough detox. And that was when I first did this, that was something that I noticed immediately. It starts out with heavy metal detox on day one, and I really could feel that. That's always been a problem for me, heavy metal detox. Don't have very good detoxification mechanisms, so I could feel that right away. I remember waking up like, oh, I'm so achy, and my glands felt swollen and everything, get a little crabby, and that would happen every time I ran it while I was doing the metal detox, during the metal part. And then I felt other things during the other parts. It was just really quite amazing, honestly, because you can you can go check out your screen and see what's detoxing, and then you can see that area might be more of a problem for you, and maybe you need to do some more work on that area. So I run this pretty much all the time just to keep my body detoxing, and you can put, I have, you can put a couple family members in there with you or whatever, as long as anybody isn't dealing with something really significant at the time. You can put several in there together. I have one running for my pets with a detox, actually. So I think this is just a great feature. Okay, you will first choose a preset. Factory presets include software settings and programs. So the factory presets are all ready to go. You're just going to run them. And the terrain is one of those, or the detox, it's one of those. In the shell, you will choose your settings and your programs, and I'll show you how we're going to do that. So the shell, you just think about is you got to fill your shell. You got to fill it with your settings. You got to fill it with your programs where you're choosing, are you doing killing? Are you doing healing? And then what programs are you running where the factory is already ready and you're just starting it. In the presets tab, and we'll go over this later. I'm just telling you now, but we'll go over this later. In the presets tab, next to the presets, it's going to either have an R or a C or a P. R is for remote mode, C is for contact mode, and P is for plasma mode. So you would choose appropriately what you're doing. If you're running a remote mode, you need a DNA fingernail sample enclosed in the paper sticker or the paper tape. If you have a pacemaker, heart problem, electrical implant, metal rods, or metal plates, it is only advised to use the remote mode. But that's also such a wonderful thing that you can still do that. And the remote mode is really highly effective. If pregnant, it is not advised to use frequency treatments and it is not known how it may affect the baby. And I think we're always careful with pregnancy about everything that we do, everything we put in the body and everything we do. Do not adjust the Spooky2 XM generator front panel controls. This is on the blue generators. This system is designed to be controlled by the software, so you just leave those alone. We will demonstrate how to run a terrain detox and a shell preset. Okay, this is an example of running a detox terrain preset. When we get done with this, with these slides, I will share a screen and just kind of click through things as well. So, okay, here we go. you're on your main screen and you're going to click on presets. And you're going to get this list here. Now this arrow is going to help you always, move this along. So if you clicked on something and then you brought it to something else and you're like, no, I don't want to do that. You just keep clicking this till you get back to the beginning again. So we're going to do detox. Now, if you're doing biofeedback, that's right here. And then there's some other presets that already have, like COVID-19, it has presets to use for that. There's cancer protocols, some environmentals, some sweeps, some healing things. There's a lot of miscellaneous ones that are all preset. The Morganell and Limes is a whole protocol within itself. And then the shell, we're going to do that next. So right now, detox. So after you click detox, you're going to get these options here. And you can do the terrain, which is what is the highly suggested. If there's a terrain mercury, and that is the terrain minus dealing with the mercury, because that's where some people have a lot of problems. If they have mercury, or if they have a lot of mercury feelings, then you might want to try terrain without mercury to get your body detoxed without having a Hertz reaction. And then there's terrain nonviolent, which would be the terrain minus the parasites. Okay, so you can try this first if that's okay for you. Detox maintenance is just a really nice, gentler detox, whole body detox. All right, so once we click on terrain, let's see, I'm going to see if I'm missing anything of what I have. I'm going to choose remote. So we're still in the presets tab. You clicked on that. Here's your options right here. We're going to choose remote. Okay, it's going to take 11 days to run the detox terrain. Okay, so now we've clicked on that. We chose that terrain. Now we're going to go up to control. Your control board is where you choose your generator. So we're on the control board. We're going to click on overwrite generator. So now it's the terrain is going to overwrite whatever else was on the generator before. Select your generator and click on it. Example is 5. I have 5 written up here, so we're going to do 5. So then I click 5, and then you just go over and you click start. Now the terrain is running on generator 5. Here's a list. It starts right here. See, number 1 is remove metals. So that's what it's doing first. And here it shows all the frequencies to be run. It's going to do it all by itself. You don't need to do anything. This is all working on remote now with the fingernail in it, fingernail clipping. If you need to pause to give your body a recovery break, oops, hold on. Then you can click on pause right here, and it'll just pause. It'll just stop until you're, maybe you want to take some binders, like bentonite clay or charcoal or a lot of vitamin C or whatever you use to help pass that through, bind it up, pass it through, and then you can just click pause again and it'll start right up again. You also can run a Hertz program on another generator. So the Hertz program is, a Herxheimer is like a reaction to the detox. And there is, if you go into Shell and look at programs, there is Hertz program that will help you, help your body. Drink plenty of water and rest, and you can resume when you're ready by clicking the pause button again. All right, these 2 pictures up here, this is a list of the programs in the terrain preset chain. So, and then next to it, it has the day that it's running on. So day 1, remove metals. Day 2, more remove metals. Oops, here we go again. A little shift. Okay. Oh, sorry. All right. Day 3, remove chemical materials. Day 4, remove systemic toxins 1. Day 5, remove systemic toxins 2. Day 6, remove intestinal toxins. Day 6, 2. So some days you're going to be going through 2 different systems. So on day 6, you're also going to be removing systemic toxins 3. It's the second part of it. And then day 7, parasites and liver function. Day 8, kidney function. And day 9, you're going to do kidney function 2 and cleanse blood. Day 10, kidney and liver toxins. Day 10-2, intestinal parasites. Day 11, lymphatic system. And 11.2 is another lymphatic system. And I just think this is so wonderful how it ends with the lymph, because the lymph remove the toxins from your body. And my experience with doing lymph work is people's lymphatics are really sticky and cloggy, and that's a reason why we get sick. So this is really awesome that it ends with the lymph and just to flush everything right out of there. All right, now let's see, we're going to run a shell empty preset. So shell is just the settings, and then you're gonna choose the program. So once again, this is to treat something in particular, like a pain or a headache or a cold or an intestinal issue, or whatever it is. There's so many things you can look up on the lookup, and it's just amazing. So you go to the presets again, you start there. Now you're going to go down and you're going to click on shell empty presets. Now you're going to choose what mode you're running it in. This is a screen that's going to come up. And I'm not sure what I chose for this, but anyways, it doesn't matter. I'll show you here. Here's remote. Here's contact, either one, whatever you're choosing. Choose one of those. Or if you're using the laser device or the coil, the audio is audio sound, and the foot bath, that's just a whole nother thing. And the scalar, that's also a whole nother thing that I'm not covering today, but there's a lot of videos on that. All right, now, I did choose remote because you will notice that after these options, there's an R for remote, R for remote. So now we're going to choose one of these main things. We're going to just talk about healing or killing right now. And that's the main thing that you'll want to be talking about, healing or killing. So there's a few options for healing. Healing JW, John White, that's just the kind of that's going to work well. So you can choose that. And killing, there's a killing JW. So healing is if you're bringing energy in. It's an entrainment of energy, like chakras. Let's say you're choosing chakras. That would be healing because you're entraining that chakra energy into your chakra energy. Killing is pathogen removal, inflammation, infections. Those are going to be killing. Okay? So now we're going to do an example of a headache. So we're in the Programs tab now, and we just type headache in here. This is the search bar. You will type in what your concern is, and it'll give you, and then you hit the little search guide. It'll give you a huge list of things to try. Now, you might want to try, let's say, let's say you have a headache. It's going to give you a lot of things here to try, but let's say that it's sinus. You can also type in sinus and see if you get any other, they're going to have a lot of sinus things in here, but you can see if you get any other things to choose from as well. And you can add more. So we're going to start with headache. Okay. You can choose one or several. It's just recommended to keep the treatment time, like if you're doing remote, to 4 hours or less, so that you're getting a repeat of those frequencies a few times in a 24-hour period. It would give you 6 times to repeat that in a 24-hour period. And the amount of time for each program is listed after the program. So here you can see 16 minutes, 9 minutes, 10 minutes, 42 minutes, and then here it shows the frequencies. When you double click on the program, it will go in a loaded program box. So I run the screen here. I did headache. Now we're going to go down, and here's my headache again. Here's the list, and I chose cold and flu basic. And I double click on that, or you can use this as well when you're loading them on. And it goes into cold and flu basic into the loaded programs box. There's a description box next to that, and that's going to give you some information about that program that you loaded. Common cold, including chest cold, head cold, seasonal flu are caused by viruses. So it just gives you some information about that. Sometimes it will give you some information and say, also check this, and it might give you some other ideas of things to check. Now, estimated total runtime is 9 minutes. So you could add some more to that. You could do cold and head chest 1, cold and head chest 2, whatever, and double click, and it's just going to keep adding them here. And then it's going to give you the total time. It's going to, give you the total time there. Okay. There's more things that you can do, but I'm just trying to give you basic information so it's not overwhelming. Okay, now we're going to run this cold and flu program. So you click on control. Once again, we're going to overwrite the generator. Click. Select your generator. Selected 5. Click start. You will see it loading and then begin to run the program. This generator you selected will turn green on here. See, it says loading here, generator 5. Estimated time it's going to run, 9. If I had several of them, it would show me the total time. And here's your frequencies that are running. And you'll be able to see when it's doing which one. It's going to go here, it's going to go there, it's going to go there. Now there's pause here if you need to pause it. Okay. Right. Now, this is on the GX Pro. Oh, I see. This is loading some of my screen to screen. Loading programs onto the GX Pro. So we want to make sure the generator X is connected to your computer right now. Turn on and open the software. You're going to go to the control tab and see if your generators are connected. Like I told you before, they'll show up as those little squares. Now you go to presets and you choose that shell empty preset like we did with the headache. Choose method for delivery such as contact or remote. And you click on whichever one you're choosing. Choose healing or killing. And it looks like I chose contact. So healing or killing. Choose one of those. I chose healing for this one. We'll see. And then, yes, I did. Okay. I chose trauma in here to look for programs. Let's say you hurt your ankle. So I chose trauma. Contusion or bruise. And I also chose accelerated injury healing. So double click. That accelerated injury healing went in. Contusion or bruise. That went into the loaded programs box. Here again is a little description of contusion, bruise. Okay, now we're going to go to the control tab, click override generator, and choose a generator. Port G1 or G2. Oopsies. There we go. Okay, you'll see the number of the generator on your generator X screen. So when you're choosing, once again on your generator X screen, it has the numbers of the generator. We're using generator 8 for this example. So we're pointing to that. Click overwrite generator and click the generator button. So I'm going to click here, I'm going to click here, and then I'm going to click load GX. And that button is right here, load GX. Now you're going to get this screen. And it says, the screen will appear. Give your program a name in the space under new program. So here's new program. And then here's where you can put it in. This automatically went in, but you could name it like ankle injury, if you want to, or something like that. Double click on a spot. So if you double click on like 1, now that is going to come down into number 1. There are 30 spots, so you could load 30 different program runs on this generator. And they will stay on there. You're storing it on there. Then you're going to click save up here. Now you close the Spooky2 software and disconnect the generator from the computer. So now you're taking the generator away from the computer. Okay. Press G1 and you will see the programs that are saved. So now it's showing you this accelerated healing is right on there. Use the up and down arrows to find the program you want on standalone. So there might be 7 of them on here or something. You use the up and down arrows to decide which one you're going to run. Now you'd want to connect to your boost and remote or contact. And if you press the loop button, then it will run continuously until you stop it. And you press the start button. And here it shows that it's running. It says running, accelerated injury healing. And it's the other one that I had on there too, the bruising. Okay, so that's running on G1. So when the screen shows your program's running, press the loop and it will run continuously until you stop it. There's the loop again. Here's the G1 or G2 that you're choosing when you first put it on. Right? Okay, now we're going to go through some of the main tabs of the software. This is the presets tab. The presets is where you begin to choose and load programs for your Spooky2 generators. Preset tab displays a list of factory collections that come with Spooky2. Setting a collection displays its presets in the presets column. So if you select one of these, like I did with the detox, and you select it, then it's going to give you the list of detox to choose from. Selecting a preset in the column loads it into the settings and programs. So once you select one of them, then it's going to load it into the programs. Here I have general biofeedback scan on here. Okay. You can click the save button to save the selected preset to your user collection. I really don't do that very much, but you can do that. Like if there's something that you want to save because you're going to use it quite often, then you can do that. When a preset contains a program, it will display them in the central programs column right in here. Programs tab. This is where you search for and select your programs. The program pane lists all the programs in 4 factory databases: DNA, main, molecular weight, human base pairs, non-human base pairs, and those in your custom file. Whoops. Having a little problems with my my cursor thing. Okay, type a topic in the search field to find the programs related to your healing intentions. And that is just so cool. You can go in and just explore. I mean, I suggest for you to do that. Explore. Put in anything: healing, headaches, knees, digestive issues. Just start exploring because there's so many things offered. And it just kind of gives you, it's, kind of fun just to explore, go along the software and explore. Okay, and then you'll double click a program to add it to the loaded programs box. Or you can select multiple programs and load them into the loaded program area by clicking the plus button. So select them and then hit plus and they'll all go in here. Here is a little X. If you click that, you can get rid of them. If you click this, you can save them. The up and down arrows allow you to move them around. If you select them, you can move them up in your chain or down in your chain. You can select multiple programs and load them into the programs box. Okay, I said that already. And I'm not sure if I talk about this down the road. On the right side of the program screen is the database categories. You can click a plus on here, and then it will your search will include all these databases. If you don't want to search all of them, you can just click the selected ones that you want to search. So ALT programs are based on avertic knowledge, solfeggio, planetary frequencies. BFB is a collection of biofeedback scan results. BIO, frequencies based on excellent Russian frequency research. CAFL is consolidated, annotated frequency list from experienced Rife experiencers, added by Spooky team members, plus those in your own database. CUST, collection of programs for human, animal, plant pathogens based on DNA dimensions. EDTFL, programs researched in the bioresonance clinics in Germany. HC is Hulda Clark database, and KHZ is a collection of higher frequencies from Dr. Hulda Clark. MW is collection of 8,000 programs for drugs, supplements, and moleculars important to health. So here's an example. I just always keep them all on, but if you were just looking for something like you wanted to run a frequency, a molecular weight frequency of something that's just like a supplement or a drug, you could just only have that one clicked and then put in arthritis, and then it would give you just the ones for that. PROV has produced consistent results in virtually all subjects as it was used with. RIFE, Rife, is a collection of Dr. Royal Rife's original frequencies. RUSS, programs are extracted from Russian databases. SD, programs derived from biofeedback scan using Spooky Digitizer. BEGA, frequencies based on excellent Russian frequency research. And XTRA, programs from various sources, all chosen for their reputation for effectiveness. So, that's just breaking it down. That, to me, that's like too much information for in the beginning, for just learning, like, just leave them on, unless, like I said, you're looking for just a supplement or a medication or something like that. Frequency. But it's good for you to know, because as you become more familiar with it, then you might be like, oh, I always have good luck with these, so I'm just going to look in this category. Program tab 3 slide. Okay. So when you click on select a program, a description will be displayed in the right of the loaded programs box. And we kind of looked at that a little bit before. So in here, there will be a description displayed. The options pane, that's right below that down here, offers options for delivery of different aspects of your program. You can find more detailed information about that in the user's guide. And I'll just go over a couple of those. So it says repeat each frequency. So that would just be, if you put a 2 in there, right here, you put a 2 in there, then it's going to repeat each frequency twice. So it's going to do, like, if your frequencies are 123, 456, 789, it's going to do 123, 123, 456, 456, 789, 789. So you get, 2 of each one. And then repeat each program. It's set on 1. But if you want to change that to 2, that would mean if a program contains 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then another has 3, 2, 1, 6, 4, 6, 5, 4, 9, 8, 7, a value of 2 would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then repeat sequence, excuse me, it's just repeating the whole sequence. Like, you do the whole sequence. Like the first one, you're repeating each program twice. You repeat one program twice, then the other program twice, the other program twice, and the sequence would repeat all the programs and then repeat all the programs again. There's a dwell multiplier down here. Allows you to overwrite the default dwells for frequencies, which are normally 180 seconds for each frequency. And you can shorten those if you like to. I got to tell you, I don't ever do anything with that, and I'm sure people have a good reason that they want to do that, like they want to hit it either stronger or lesser or whatever. But I just leave everything set for right now. So the reason I'm telling you is that because I don't want you to be thinking that's just too much information. I don't know what to do there. Okay. Let's see. Okay, and that's only for killing, which requires unchanged frequency, since So healing requires, you want to keep the frequency the same for healing, because that is once again working by that entrainment, the entrainment for the organs and the systems. And then the only other one, the only one that I change around in here sometimes is remove duplicate frequencies right here. See, I have that clicked on, but that means like if you, let's say you're doing headache or sinus, and you're picking 6 different programs for headache and sinus. Each program might have some of the same frequencies in it. And so by removing duplicate frequencies, it's going to just play that one frequency once. And it's going to cut your time down. So let's say, like here, I've got cold 1, cold 2, cold 4. Estimated runtime is 2 hours. And I have removed duplicate frequencies here. If I didn't have that, it might be 4 hours or 3 hours or something like that. Now, you can play around with that, use it or not use it, but sometimes, like I know in the Lyme protocols, the cancer protocols, there's a reason why those frequencies are the way they are. So I would not remove duplicate frequencies if it's a preset like that. It's all kind of experimentation. Settings tab. Okay, this is where you can configure signal settings for both outputs of your generator, create and save your own custom waveforms, schedule the generator's run times, which is right here, run from something PM to something PM. So if you want to start in so much time, you know, if you want to schedule your specific time that you want to run it, you can do that. I don't really know. I suppose if you just wanted to run something during the night, it was on contact, and you just want to run it while you're sleeping or something, or you just want to run it while you're awake, that would be a way to use that. I don't really adjust anything on here. I'm just telling you that. Now there's people that know a lot more about these different wavelengths, and they work around with them a lot more. But I don't, so I don't do that right now. I might as I learn more, but right now I don't. Okay, so you can find more detailed and helpful information in the Spooky2 User's Guide about this. And if you are able to print the guide out, that's what I suggest, put in a 3-ring binder for your convenience and reference. Brad Johnson has a lot of experience on radio frequency and such. And he recently had a software video on YouTube that he talked about these settings quite a bit, and it made a lot of sense. It was very good, simple explanation. So if you're really interested in learning more about these different waveforms and changing some of these, I would suggest to either talk to him or watch his presentation. It was really interesting. Control tab. Okay, there's a lot of information options for control tab you can also find in your Spooky2 User's Guide. This is where you'll be monitoring and controlling your generators and starting your selected programs or scans to run. You will click on the generator that you are setting up or running. Reverse lookup is on the upper right of the screen for biofeedback scans. All right, I should talk about that a little bit. That's not on here right now. I'll when I go onto the screen, I'll go to that, talk about that a little bit. The box under the control. Oh, it is here, reverse lookup. Okay, let me talk about that for a moment. When you do a biofeedback scan, here I've got the scan. When you do a biofeedback scan, and it's going to run its thing, and then it's going to pop up the 10 or 20, however you have it set. Normally it's 10 frequencies right here. Now these are the most screaming loudly frequencies that are not of good impact for your body. And when you do the scan, you are also doing a treatment. The scan is giving you a treatment. And then you save them, and then you can play it back on contact or remote. I have found, in my personal experience, this was something that I felt really helped do a lot of healing with my pancreatic condition that I have and allergies and stuff like that. Was I would run a biofeedback scan, and then I would run it on contact, which is, you know, stronger than remote. Now I would run it on remote, but when I started doing this, running it on contact, for maybe like 3-4 days, where I would just go hook up and it takes 30 minutes to run it on contact once a day. I really had some really good healing with that. And so I think anybody who's got a chronic or autoimmune or anything, that biofeedback and then running your hits, whether you do it on contact or you do it on remote for like a week, and then running another biofeedback and then running your hits again, I feel like that is really super healing. So what was I going to talk about? Reverse lookup. So then you get your hits here. Now you can click on this reverse lookup, go. And then what it's going to do is it's going to bring up a screen that shows you the frequencies that are on your top 10 here. And it might say things like that it's related to a condition or something like that. It is not a diagnosis at all, but what it is it's telling you that frequency has been used to heal this condition in a program. And so it might be relevant and it might not be relevant. So don't get concerned if you see something on there that, is like, oh man, that says nasal cancer. Well, I must have nasal cancer. No, it would mean that frequency has been used in treatment of nasal cancer, but that doesn't mean you have it. But it's also something to watch because it's just kind of interest, like, oh, that makes sense. So my body in that area has some deficiencies or some blockages or whatever that I need to work on. So it's just kind of interesting. You can save them if you want to. You can compare them. So, you can see during your reverse lookups, did I have that before? I just don't really care, honestly. I just want to take the frequencies that came up as hits and neutralize them and then move on. Okay. That's just me, though. All right. Reverse lookup. The box under the control will show the frequencies running. Okay, so, whoopsies, there it goes again. It's going to show the frequencies running. And let's see, the box under the controls. You will see the estimated total runtime. We talked about that. So you'll see the estimated runtime up here. The current preset duration and the current chain duration. So right there underneath. The box under the time area will display the program list that is running on the chosen generator. The bottom right screen will be displaying frequency ranges being scanned during the biofeedback scan and be changing during the scan. So right here, you're going to see kind of like this, a wave pattern. And then it changes color when there's a hit. There's changes color. So, just point of interest. So like when I read through this, I'm like, oh, that all sounds really complicated. If I'm just, thinking about it and I haven't used this and I'm not sure what to do. So don't worry about it because just do your basic steps and you can get good results to get started. But it's just information for you because, you learn a little bit and then you learn a little bit more and then you learn a little bit more. And then it starts to make more sense. Like, why is something doing what it is? Systems tab. Settings made in this tab will affect the operation of your entire Spooky2 setup and operation. The software has established settings as you can restore these by using the Restore Default tab in the upper right corner. So you can always restore to the original settings. Refer to your Spooky2 user guide for details for setting options. There's not a lot that I mess around with in here as well. Display port number. Okay, got that clicked. Show internet tab, that's up on the top. Oh no, software has established settings and you can restore these by using the Restore Default mode. Okay, we talked about that. Refer to your Spooky2 user's guide for details for settings and options. So once you get more familiar, like I suggest, you're just starting, like get familiar with doing biofeedback scan, get familiar with doing terrain, get familiar with just running some shell, empty preset shell programs that you're building and feel comfortable with doing that and seeing how it affects you. And then, start to learn more. All right. I want to thank everybody for viewing. Wishing you all Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy healing, and just be patient and try to start out with one thing and then work on one more thing, and you'll be able to be doing more things. That's what I did. Thank you for viewing. Thank you for participating. I hope you got some tips out of this that are helpful. All right. Take care, everyone.